So, you want to hear a story. One of wonder, magic, and mystery, where fantastic beasts like giants, dryads, and dragons roam the land and skies, where humans live alongside beings like elves, dwarves, goblins, and orcs. It's a setup you might have heard before, but this isn't some fantasy epic, a duel of fates, the world hanging in the balance. No, this is something smaller, and ironically more human. Our story began late one morning, when an elf woman woke up and decided she was bored.
God, I'm bored.
In a world of magic and mystery, one elf woman fights crime and the forces of evil in her own unconventional way. These are The Misadventures of Agnetha Deveaux. Episode 1, The Fog, written by Royce Pentaghast. Agnetha Deveaux is an elven detective and monster slayer, warrior and healer, criminal and crime fighter. She was born to servants in a cold mountainous country in the far north, with the expectation she too would serve the wealthy human family as her parents had, and their parents before them. But something, whether it be God, fate, or genetics, had other ideas, as she showed an affinity for magic at a young age. The master, a kindly man, bought her a magic education, guaranteeing her a life beyond what she could have achieved otherwise.
It's kind of sad when you think about it that way.
War threatened the country, as war is wont to do, and Agnetha signed up to serve at the age of 17. Her powers of healing, fire, and spirit were sure to come in handy. Among a sea of white human faces, she rose up the ranks where none of her color or creed had before, after saving the life of her squad and its leader in a surprise enemy attack. After 3 years of battles, victories, and horrors, Agnetha was retired from the army life thanks to a fall and a broken back. The medics did all they could to mend her, not being as accomplished as she was at healing, and through her pain and anguish, Agnetha turned to the aid of medicine, the potions driving her to new depths of madness. But the war was done, and now she was healed and numb to all that had happened. She retired with her parents and her pension for a quiet life in the valleys. Yet a quiet life wasn't for Agnetha, as she set off adventuring, taking up random quests and odd jobs to quell her boredom. It wasn't until she found herself dumping bodies in a canal she realized she'd fallen into a criminal lifestyle.
I mean, it's not just something that happens,
she argues.
You find yourself making allowances, turning a blind eye, driving some guy here, transporting this thing there. One time you need to kick a guy in the nuts a few times. First it's self-defense, and then you find yourself trying to justify it. If I don't strike first, what could they do? It's a slippery slope.
But everyone has their limits, and Agnetha's came when she realized exactly how her boss, a man by the name of Peacock, came to make his millions. And so she pocketed a few $100,000, ratted him out to the authorities, and fled with her parents to the industrial river city of Varadoon. It's here Agnetha met her soon-to-be best friend, Turmell Robertson, a real estate agent who sold her parents their house, paid for from Agnetha's pilfered money. From an affluent family of politicians and real estate developers, Turmell found himself at odds with his parents when he decided to use his affluence and privilege for good, to help the downtrodden and disadvantaged. But there's only so much one can do in a junior position and with a sheltered worldview, the latter of which Agnetha helped him with, but he showed his commitment to his cause by growing his hair long, as the politicians of old once did.
You're going to regret that haircut one day.
Maybe, but not today.
Oh, I will make it today, ponytail head.
Our trio is rounded out by Charlotte Evanshaw, Turmell's oldest friend, owner of the Vestment Silver Tavern, a family business she gave up a promising dancing career for to run. It's here Agnetha resides, and decided after the 2 years hiding from her old crime boss that she was going to make something of herself. She advertised herself as an all-in-one pest controller and monster slayer in the local papers, finding work spraying cellars for weevils and fighting trolls. Her ambitions became grander after encountering a racist politician hiring thugs to commit hate crimes, leading to her publicly beating him into a confession.
How dare you lay your hands on me, you filthy creature! Arrest her!
Wait!
But it was later on a train ride to a political summit where Agnetha's name was truly put on the map. The murder of a sleazy university professor turned progressive politician had all in attendance under suspicion. From the previously mentioned bigot to the victim's old flame, his former student he hoped to win back. Putting her detective skills to work, Agnetha soon uncovered the murderer, and those that remained agreed to cover the victim's past indiscretions to preserve his honorable ideals. More and more cases landed on Agnetha's lap, from high-profile burglaries pulled off by one of her oldest friends to depressing murder cases and families forever shattered. Agnetha's fame grew and caught the attention of her old crime boss, who sent a group of mercenaries and bounty hunters after her to reclaim the stolen money and make her suffer for the embarrassment. This predictably did not play out how the crime boss had hoped, thanks to the brash actions of one of the mercenaries ruining the element of surprise. Agnetha struck back and whittled his forces down to nothing. Caught in the crossfire was the city's underbelly's long-reigning king, creating a power vacuum this crime boss tried to inhabit. And with Agnetha's friends and family at his mercy, he seemed unbeatable. His downfall came swiftly after being arrested and exposed for his crimes. Agnetha had done her homework. Long aware of his shady business deals and secret bank accounts, she uncovered all the paper trails he thought he had long buried. This criminal's reign of terror was over, toppled not with a sword or fireball, but the taxman and courts. After all the stress that had weighed her down for so long, Agnetha felt free. The seemingly untouchable criminal mastermind had fallen by her hand, and Agnetha almost felt as though she had taken on God herself and emerged victorious.
Too right, I did. And it's not just me getting delusional. Look, he thought he was invincible. Well, no, it wasn't. Guess what? I am invincible. Ha!
The thing is, when you're invincible, people try to prove you're not. The day began like any other, as Agnetha took breakfast with her friends at the Vestment Silver.
So Elsie's had to agree to stay until the issue's resolved, which wouldn't be a problem, except no one knows exactly when that will be.
I'm putting my money on the sailors. They're very strange people. Tarring and feathering an entire fleet is just their kind of humour, I tell you.
It would be hilarious if that spark hadn't set the whole thing ablaze.
You're right though, Agnetha, about the sailors. Weeks and months at sea does weird things to the mind. One time, a whole bunch of them came in here as a stop-off on some epic pub crawl. 2 of them were hospitalised after tried licking the mounted deer head.
So is that why the deer head is gone? It fell off and injured some sailors.
You would think so. What actually happened is so crazy. You wouldn't believe me if I tried to tell you. But no, the missing deer head is thanks to Agnetha.
What is it we use, Arundel people? Deer heads this, antlers that?
Well, deers are actually an invasive species. Hunting them is encouraged to protect the native fauna.
And then you collect bits of their corpses? Weird.
Says the woman who mounted the troll's head in its place.
Yeah, it makes sense when you think about it.
Does it?
A troll is a dangerous creature that will gobble your children up or punch a horse. The disembodied head of such a predator proves my mad skills in combat and is a masterful addition that really adds character to what would otherwise be a pretty boring room.
This is her contribution to owning 50% of this place.
I'm looking for Agnetha Deveaux. I have something that needs your attention.
Right here. How can I help you?
I'm a civil servant working for the Magic Council. A few days ago, our offices were broken into. Things were stolen, but with so many things in our archives, it took us days to figure out exactly what. And now we know. I think we need your help getting it back.
Well, what is it?
A magic book. A grimoire to be exact. It's about 400 years old, bound in black with red jewels on the cover.
Oh, okay, I've heard of this. Is it some kind of containment enchantment?
No, those were just decoration. The grimoire itself isn't actually magical, but the spells within it are dark and dangerous, mostly because they're easy to cast, but difficult to master. In the wrong hands, this could wreak havoc on levels I dare not to imagine.
You need me to track it down, I understand. I can do that, but I need something. Like, a scent owl needs something to track a scent. I need something so I can lock onto an item's properties.
I know of your powers, so I bought this. It's not much, but it's one of the tags that was on the grimoire that fell off when it was taken.
No, this should do wonders. Leave it with me, and I'll get that book back to you.
Thank you so much. You have no idea.
Off to work now.
Yep, just not that case. I've got a list of cases longer than my finger thanks to my newfound celebrity.
It's longer than your arm, that quote, not finger.
Well, that makes a lot more sense. Well, I knew it was an appendage at least. But yes, book hunting will have to wait.
But you heard him. It could be dangerous.
Sure, but what harm's a little waiting gonna do?
When Agnetha awoke the next morning, she didn't notice the dark skies outside, thinking it was nothing more than the approach of rainy weather. Only when she met Charlotte downstairs did she realize something was amiss.
Good morning, Charlotte. Looks like a quiet one today.
Very. I think there's a fire down by the river. Another factory fire like the last one. No one has been in at all. The smoke's too much.
That's no fire. That's magic. Something is seriously wrong. Stay here, Charlotte. I'll be back for you if anything happens.
Be careful.
Always am.
When is that true?
Heading towards the center of the city, Agnetha found ominous clouds of dark red obscuring the horizon.
So sorry, ma'am, but there's no access this way. The fog is too thick.
Fog? Fog is fog. I've got good eyesight. I'll be right.
This ain't just fog, miss. It's poison. We've had too many deaths already. We can't risk any more people braving that stuff in the hopes of retrieving a loved one or some personal item.
Poison? What? Poison fog?
Aye, we don't know if it was an accident or a deliberate attack, but it appeared early this morning and it's been slowly spreading across the city. The guard did the best we could with evacuations, but that stuff's lethal. Burns the lungs and the skin.
Stuff it nasty, I bet it's deliberate. What I don't understand is why. We aren't at war. We've got no enemies that we know of. Malice is one thing, but on this scale, it's pure evil.
You don't know that it was deliberately done. It could have just been a spell gone wrong.
No way. Something like this, it's a plot. To drive us out the city or take over. Or kill us all. Mark my words. Someone evil is behind this.
Alright, calm down. The point is we can't let you pass.
Look, that stuff is spreading fast. It's already taken another building as I've stood here talking to you. You need help. I'm Agnetha Deveaux. I'm known to the guard.
Seriously can't be considered in this.
She's got a point. Backup hasn't come. We need to know what's going on. Look, miss. You go in, but if you die in there, it's not on us. Got it?
Got it.
Good luck, ma'am.
Agnetha vaulted over the roadblock and ran headlong into the thick red fog.
Ouch. Just stay out of the big clouds then. Oh, wait, what?
Agnetha looked around her, noting the way that the fog seemed to cling to the walls and floor, a thin sheen of a red, sticky substance painting the city.
Well, it's magic, all right, but something's gone wrong. I made a mistake putting off looking for that grimoire.
Agnetha continued onwards, deeper into the red mist, seeming to get thicker the further she went. She raised her hands to cast a spell, one that would help her try to make sense of what the fog was, and where it was all coming from. The fog seemed to ring out, like metal coarsely scraping together, and with it, an underlying sense of dread creeping into Agnetha's gut. She found something, though, a trail leading the way she was heading, towards its point of origin.
Is that... Oh no. Hold on, little mate, I'm coming.
Agnetha went running in the direction of the sound, barely keeping her sense of direction in the fog, which was now so thick it blocked out the sun. Wrapping her scarf around her face to help her breathe, she followed the noise to a small basement apartment, flinging herself inside and tripping over a small blanket stuffed under the door.
Oof. Baby! Baby, you in here? Scream if you're in here, or gurgle, whatever. Just make a noise.
Who are you? Are you with the guard?
Was that you crying? You sounded so much like an infant, it was uncanny.
No, it was Posy. She is an infant.
Okay, that's great. That's far less creepy. And no, I'm not with the guard. I'm Agnetha, and I'm here to help. I was just running around the eerie fog-filled streets of death looking for survivors, and I found 2.
Agnetha Deveaux? The private detective? You're a hero! I'm Violet. I'm just a washerwoman. I put blankets under all the windows and doors. I stayed inside. I was going to wait for an evacuation crew, but nobody came. Until you.
There've been evacuations, but the fog's too thick around here. I'd imagine they'd assume anyone in here'd be dead.
I thought I would die. I'd rather suffocate in here than out there.
Nobody else is dying today, and other such grandiose posturing. Now, I happen to know this building is right above the old sewer inspection tunnels. Know a lot about sewers, me. Great place to escape, make friends with ghosts. Now, can you brave going outside? Hide the baby under your shawl, and she'll be fine for a moment.
Okay.
Here it is. Let me lift this and... There, see? Lovely big round, sewer hole. I'll go first, see if the fog's gotten in, and then I'll see you out.
Agnetha jumped down into the hole. It was dark, but as she illuminated the tunnel with her fire magic, she was relieved to see only the barest wisps of fog had made it down to the sewer.
Okay, Violet, it's safe.
Oh, it smells.
Not worse than out there, believe me. The stench is like old eggs and metal. I'm still trying to figure out where it could have come from.
I've almost gotten used to it. The lad upstairs always smells like that.
What lad?
A lad moved in a few weeks ago. Said he was some magic inventor or something. He never talked much, but he reeked. Only late last night I heard him arguing with the landlord. He lives on the ground floor and rents me the basement where I do my washing. I don't know why I'm telling you this.
No, you might be onto something.
Agnetha cast her spell once more, quickly locking onto the magic trail of the fog. A wispy line followed them as they had trekked through the sewer, but it was Violet who seemed to have the trail pouring off her, not as the source, but as a result of being so close to it.
Come on, let's get you to safety. Might have found the cause of all this, and I think your neighbour might be at fault.
Really? What? That's a bit of a coincidence.
My opinion swears on coincidence, especially depending how they affect me. That sandwich I threw out a train window and landed on a noble woman's face, total coincidence. Finding and rescuing you in your pub, that's just good luck.
The city's sewer system followed its street layout almost exactly, leading Agnetha, Violet, and Violet's infant daughter to the safety of the Vestment Silver on Juniper Street, several blocks from where the fog had started.
Oh, up you come. Careful.
Oh, thank you so much. You saved us.
Stay safe. Head to the pub. The lady in there, Charlotte, will see to you. Rescue this one from the place where it all started, on Holland Road. The fog is magic, and I'm going back to see if I can fix it.
Is it an accident? Can you fix it?
No idea till I... What's up there? Why do I do this?
Must be bad if it sent you back to your first language.
What is my accent again? You okay?
I'm fine. I should have known you'd be out here.
Was this all the crochet? I'm going back. I reckon this was caused by a spell from that grimoire that was stolen. You coming with?
I should say yes, but I don't want to, yet I am.
Well, come on then. Might need you. My canary in a mine shaft.
Making their way back to the building where she rescued Violet, Agnetha kicked in the front door, the two of them hurrying inside and shutting the door behind them as the red fog wafted in.
You hear that? It sounds like a seal's in the house.
Now you know how I feel. And yet, look. Red smoke pouring down the stairs.
Our point of origin. Follow me and be careful.
Upwards they ventured, the fog nowhere near as thick as outside, but getting denser with each step. Up the second flight, a small landing and a door to the room from which the fog originated. Another kick, and they were nearly knocked back as a wave of mist burst forth. The room quickly cleared, however, as details came into view. A small unmade bed, a messy desk, papers of writing and sketches littered the floor and surfaces, some pinned up the walls. A corpse of a man lay in the center of the room. By his side, the black, leather-bound, red jewel-encrusted grimoire. Floating over them was a ball of the red mist, pouring out of thin air. being sucked out of a broken pane of glass in the window to the outside world.
So that's the cause of all this. A spell gone wrong.
Yeah, this misty git and this thieving moron. What's on those papers over there? I'm gonna look at the grimoire.
These look like blueprints for something. All these equations, like he's trying to bind some force to a bag.
He's making a smoke sack. It's a weapon, kinda. Magic liquid that turns into smoke when exposed to the air, containing a wax-sealed sack. It's used in warfare where the liquid is poison or on stage for special effects. The page where the grimoire was open to. It's a smoke summoning spell. It's some old magic, though I don't recognise it.
I've never heard of a smoke sack, but if you have, what's he doing trying to make one?
He's freshly dead. Let's see what he has to say for himself.
What, you're going to summon his spirit?
I'm going to try at least. He's lucky he's already dead.
Agnetha waved her hand over the corpse, and before them appeared the spirit of a man, staring blankly ahead.
My name is Agnetha. This is Turmell. Who are you?
Samuel Dent. I am a maid scholar.
Did you steal that grimoire?
The Varadun Magic Council holds texts to magics unknown and forbidden to those it deems unworthy. I was one they deemed unworthy. The spells in this book are ancient and dark, from before a time when magic was fully understood. The demon told me to take the book, and he will make me understand.
A demon?
What do you mean, demon?
The demon came to me 3 weeks ago when I slept, and told me the solutions to puzzles I had been working on. In turn, I was to cast a spell that will create this fog, but I made a mistake and created too soon.
What puzzles were you working on?
The spirit turned its head to look her in the eyes, staring at and through her all at once.
Elves like you have understanding of magic beyond any human, but I was one of many to trying to understand. The demon gave me the key to understanding, to reach to the other plane.
Agnetha stumbled back as the spirit of the wizard began to glow purple, a sign of the elven spirit magic she practiced.
Now I too have this knowledge, but I was unworthy to wield it, accidentally suffocating as I failed to control even a basic spell. The spell to undo it is on that grimoire.
Who is this demon and why did he want you to make that smoke sack?
The demon looked like a man, but he never said who or what he was. The smoke sack was a weapon, one of many to unleash on the city in 2 weeks' time and cause chaos and destruction. I do not know why I went along with it. It's my fault this has happened, but it could have been worse.
People have died, you dick. It doesn't get much worse than that. You might want to stand back, Turmell. This could get risky.
She waved her hands in the directions instructed and brought them together with a clap. And like that, a heatless flame burst from them, obliterating the smoke and spreading across the city, clearing the air once more.
That was a really loud clap.
I know. My hands are stinging. Looks like we got to the bottom of this, though. Better alert the guard and get this body taken away. And check to make sure the landlord's got out safe, too.
So what was this about a demon? I mean, I know the mages dip into the spirit plane with their magic, but demons?
It's just that. Some mages dip a little deeper than others. I shouldn't think it's anything to worry about.
No, you can't just go and brush yourself like you did with that grimoire. You've just seen what happened when you do that.
I know. I am thinking about it. I've been thinking about it all day. What would have happened if I'd done this sooner? Would people have died? I can't think like that. It's not doing me any good. If this demon is anything, we'll deal with it when we deal with it.
Well, if you're sure, we better get back.
The grimoire returned. The city of Varadun began to heal, the cleanup in full swing now the sky was returned to its normal self. It wasn't long before Agnetha's heroic efforts were recognized. Amongst the memorials to those who died, Agnetha was celebrated, with more people knocking at her door at the tavern, hoping to hire her services. Missing people, murder cases, strange magic phenomena. It felt good for her to keep busy, while it did begin to encroach on her regular activities. She worried, too, for the first time in a while, if this demon could lead to anything, and whether she would have the ability to take it on. But that is a worry for another day. The Misadventures of Agnetha Deveaux, starring
Liz Corrick as Agnetha.
Royce Pentaghast as Turmell.
Lampros Kalfuntzos as the ghost.
Glen Wizard.
Teresa Milewski as Violet.
Hayley and McCready as Guard Number 1.
Amanda Sanders as Charlotte.
And Michael Mengarda as the narrator. Theme music composed by Matt Harris. Additional music by Kevin MacLeod of Incompetech.com. Produced by City Park Radio 2022. Next time on The Misadventures of Agnetha Deveaux.
What's your stance on the damning report in this morning's papers where documents were leaked to the press revealing the illegal spending habits of your party's senior members?
Anything bad about this government? In print, with evidence.
If we could just take a deep breath and communicate.
Ferguson, put the letter opener down.